Hello. So we have 11 different topics that are going to be on the test for the Unit 3. And so this is our first one, combining like terms. As we look at these, we look for the ones that match. I like to use the shapes. So I'm going to say that 8R and 3R are going together to make 11 Rs. I'm going to say that the 4S and, oh, there's no other S, but it's not going to go away. So it's still going to be there, 4S. Then I've got the 7t is going to match up with the 3t, so 7 plus 3 makes 10 t's. I need that plus sign to separate the pieces. I've got a negative 8u being combined with a 3u. Now notice the sign there, so signs are different. I'm going to subtract, getting a 5. U is still there. I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger one, which was the negative, and I'm going to use that as a subtraction sign in between there. Now we can't combine it any further because you can't put letters that don't match together. So this is my answer, even though it still looks pretty big. Okay, subtracting like terms is harder. We are going to add the opposite. So let's keep this first one, change it to adding, and then we have to write what is the opposite of this. So 7f plus negative 2g plus 3h, changing it to an adding problem. Opposite of 5g is negative 5g, and don't forget to change the second one as well. So instead of adding a negative 2h, I'm going to add a positive 2h. Now I can go through and look for my ones that match. The 7f doesn't match anybody else, so it's coming down. The negative 2g will go with a negative 5g, and that makes negative 7g's. And then I've got a 3h going with a 2h, which makes 5h's. Again, don't go any further because they're different letters. Topic 3 is distributing. We did this with an array, although we could just multiply as well. There are 3 pieces inside that parentheses, so I'm going to have 3 boxes. And I'm just going to multiply each of them by this 10. So 10 times 6g would be 60g's. 10 times negative 7h would be negative 70h. 10 times negative 5k would be negative 50k. And then let's just rewrite it by itself. And that is our final answer there. We have multiplied them all by 10. The opposite of that is called factoring. So what that means is that these 3 are the ones that were inside the box, and I need to put a number in front and a number along the top. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying what goes into 18, 27, and 36 evenly? And I would use a 9. So now I'm going to divide it out. 18a divided by 9 would be 2a's. Or another way to say it is like 9 times what gave you 27b's, and that would have been a 3b. Negative 36c divided by 9 is negative 4c. Now, when you give me the answer for this one, you still need to leave the 9 there, and we're just going to put it in front of the parentheses like that last question had. And this is our final answer, taking the 9 out, and 2a plus 3b minus 4c. Our fifth item is to check for a solution. Is for a solution of this? I'm going to remove the x's and put parentheses in those spots. And then I'm going to come back and put those 4's where all the x's were and see if it balances, noticing where my equal sign is. So this side's easy. Let's do this. 4 plus 6 is 10. So now I want to see if this side comes out as 10. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 minus 9. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 does not equal 10. So we put the slash through the equal sign to show that it is not equal to it, and we make sure we answer the question. Please make sure you answer it and say, no, it is not, or yes, it is. Question 6 is you writing an equation. When you write an equation, I need a variable and an equal sign, and that variable is the 3. So let's say x plus 1 equals 4. Notice that the number 3 is not written anywhere here, but if we were to solve this, what plus 1 is 4? It is 3. So I've written an equation where the answer is going to be 3. So if you wrote this, you are wrong. X plus 1 equals 3, because when I solve that one, the answer is 2. So don't just stick a 3 in it. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to have an x, and I'm looking for that x to be the 3. You can make it as complicated as you want or as simple. I would encourage you to just stay nice and simple there. Topic 7, angle pairs. This is going to be extra credit. The thing that we knew about a flat line here is that it adds up to 180. So I would say that these two added together to 180, and I would be able to solve that. Topic 8 is inequality from words. So that first one there is a less than. Next one is a greater than. This is less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So those should not be the hard ones. These other ones will be. So I would like to start with the no's, no less than. So if it's not less than, then it would have to be greater than or equal to. So likewise, if it's no more than, it would have to be the opposite of more, which is less than or equal to. And then these ones here. So at least. The story I'd like you to think of when you see at least is you need at least a 65 to pass. So that means you would like a 65 or higher. So that means we want it to be greater than or equal to. If you say something is at least, you want it to go up from there. At most, we can have at most 5 people on the elevator. That means 5 is okay, but you should really go down from there. 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's less than. So let's apply that to these last ones then. If it is the maximum, that means it needs to go down from there because the number they just gave you is the maximum. So it can't go any higher. It's got to go down. So that would be less than or equal to. And our minimum, likewise, that is the minimum, and I want to go up from there, so that is greater than or equal to. Topic 9, graphing inequalities. We're going to do a really quick little number line. We put our number in the middle, 103. We do a number below, a number above. I put a circle at 103, and then I decide if it's open or closed. So if it is less than or greater than, it is going to be an open circle, not colored in. If it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it is going to be a closed circle, and it is going to be colored in. So this one is colored in. Then I need to know if I'm going off to the left or the right, and we can just take this symbol and treat it like an arrow. So it is showing me that I'm going off to the left for less than, and that is what I'm looking for. Question 10, solving inequalities. We're going to solve them just as if they were equal signs. So the opposite of adding 11 would be minusing 11. 19 minus 11 is 8. This is divided by -2, so I'm going to do the opposite and multiply by -2. Oh, but that is one of our red flags. When that happens, when we multiply or divide by a negative, we need to flip the inequality. So right now it was greater than or equal to, but it is now flipping to less than or equal to. These -2's cancel out, leaving the x. And over here, 8 times -2 is -16. Okay, let's look at one that is not a red flag. Opposite of minusing 13 would be adding 13. Whatever I do to one side, I'm doing to both sides. I'm going to divide by 10, which is okay because I can divide by a positive. So this one is not a red flag. It just stayed less than all the way down. 11 word problems. For example, Tyrone has $75 to spend. He already bought pants for $30. How many $5 t-shirts can he buy if he wants to have at least $12 left over? At least, we're looking for one of those key phrases to know what symbol to use. So at least means he would like that much, so equal to 12, or more, so greater than or equal to 12. He has $75 to spend, so let's start with that. He already bought pants for 30, so let's subtract that. How many $5 t-shirts can he buy? So buying is more subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 5 for each t-shirt. And I'm going to let T be the number of t-shirts. Okay, and then it's just a matter of solving from there. I've got 75 minus 30 that I could do. So that is now $45 that he has. The 45, I will do the opposite and subtract that. So -5 t-shirts are greater than or equal to -33. That doesn't make any sense. But if I divide by -5, which by the way is a red flag, dividing by negative, that's going to leave me with t-shirts are less than or equal to, so flip that around. The negatives cancel out, and I'm going to get 6.6. So that is the mathematical answer, and I need to see that step before you go to the next step and tell Tyrone what the summary is. The summary is he can get less than or equal to 6.6 shirts, so that means he could get 6, he could get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or no shirts. So he could get 6 shirts if he was trying to spend as much as he could. Okay, and then additional topics are the circles. You know, you got your twinkle, twinkle, little star, circumference equals 2 pi r, fuzzy wuzzy was a bear, area equals pi r squared, and we've got our composite shapes. So like if we were figuring out the area of this, area would be the area of the rectangle with the area of the semicircle, and I would recommend that you just solve them separately and add them together. Those are the topics that you're going to see on the test.